Yeah.
Okay, sorry, your internet connection, I think it's not great, so I'm gonna try to understand you if I can, but, okay, so as you know,
Closer to my modem, but I don't have good internet. Hold on.
okay,
I don't know if I can. Let me see how much battery I have on this. No, I can't move because if I unplug the laptop, the battery's going to die.
okay. All right, I may have to ask you to repeat yourself because it's just static here for some reason, so hopefully we can work through this. Okay, so like I said, I know that you and Mike Christian had a relationship, and during that relationship, he shared some information with you about Tamla Horsford. My understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he was on the phone with you that morning?
Yeah.
So did he call you like on his way there? Were you guys already on the phone when he got called out?
Yes. He called me on his way there, but we had already been talking on and off all morning because we did every morning.
What did he just kind of walk me through what he told you? Like, what did he tell you on his way there? That relates to the case, obviously, like that relates to Tamla Horsford. Did he tell you where he was going, what he was going for?
Yeah, he just said there was a black dead lady in someone's yard.
And then once he got there, what did he kind of tell you about what was going on?
Well, he got off the phone with me right when he got there because I guess he was talking to other people.
Okay.
And then I guess finally.
And then what? I'm sorry.
At some point, when he got off the phone with me, though, he was just snapping me because no one knows when he's snapping.
So when you say snapping you, and I think I just want to make sure he was sending you Snapchat.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I can move. My cord will reach this plug.
Gotcha.
Any better?
Your voice is a little better, so that's fine. It sounds like it. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely not as staticky right now.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Okay, yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's definitely a little better. So we'll try it. Okay, so you said he got off the phone with you, but after he got off the phone with you, he was still Snapchatting with you.
Mm-hmm.
And what was he? What did he kind of? I don't want to. You can just kind of walk me through it if you want to. I hate to just keep interrupting you, but so what did he? What did he tell you while he was there?
Well, he snapped me a picture of her body laying there. And he was just telling me the story was that she fell off the porch, but he didn't think that ever. And the last time I talked to him, he still didn't think that. So he was showing me pictures of her and said her wrist was broken, and that was the only injury he could see on her, was that her wrist was broken. And then he was trying to figure out why her body had been moved. And he was just like, just bits and pieces. I mean, this is what he did on every call he took for years. Would snap me what was going on, and then we would discuss it later. So he was just snapping me pictures of the crime scene and telling me that she was definitely dead, and that people there were saying she fell off a porch, and then that was just while he was there.
And you said,
we didn't really discuss it.
I just want to make sure I heard right, but you said that he said the only injury was her broken wrist, and he was trying to figure out why her body had been moved. Is that what you said?
Yeah, because he was telling me that something didn't look right to him because he could tell her body had been moved, and he said there's no way she fell off the porch. If she was that drunk, she wouldn't have braced herself, and he said that he didn't think the wrist injury matched her falling off of the porch. And of course, we discussed all this at length over the years later, but this is just what was happening while he was at the scene.
Right. Did he ever tell you what, because if he said he thought that she didn't fall off the porch, did he ever tell you what he thought happened to her?
Well, so, you know, what I'm telling you now is literally 5 minutes into him being at that scene. But
right.
But over the years, because so he talked about this case like every day. He was obsessed with it, and he said it ruined his life and ruined his career. He called her a horse lady. As a matter of fact, I forgot her name until recently because now it's been in my face so much that I remember it. But I literally, I mean, he just called her people. But so I don't know. It was a couple months before we stopped talking. He had to get put back on his blood pressure medicine because he started having panic attacks, like talking about it with me, and he would have panic attacks, freak out. And so he got put back on blood pressure medicine because he said this case was stressing him out so bad. But he always said, so in the beginning of all of this, he didn't think she fell off the porch, but he didn't really know what happened. So then as he got more information, I guess there was some point he found out. This is at least what he told me. But I mean, now I know he's a liar. So honestly, I don't even know what he tells me is true. You know, like he lies about everything.
Yeah, you can't trust what he told you.
Yeah, but so now I don't know what to think. But he said that he found out that there were some phone calls made between Jose and Andy Kalin before 911 was even called. And then after the police left, there were more phone calls between Jose and Andy. So then Mike started freaking out. And at the very end, like before we stopped talking, he told me that he was convinced that he didn't think she was murdered, but he said that something else happened to her. He thinks her death is accidental, but where he was getting freaked out is he said that he was convinced that maybe the people at the party panicked and talked to Andy Kalin and got a story together, moved her body, and then came up with this whole porch thing. And at the end, Mike was pretty convinced of him. Now, at the beginning of the investigation, he was just kind of like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's the porch. I don't know what's happening. But then I guess as he got more information, and I guess one of his friends on the force, Lauren Belfari, that's her name.
What was
telling
it?
Him stuff. He was here. Lauren. Yeah, she's another deputy. Belfai. I don't know. She's got an odd last name. Belfari.
Okay.
I don't know. But I don't know. At the end, he started having panic attacks, and he was like, I'm going to go down. If there really was a cover-up that I wasn't privy to, that means that my own officers set the scene up knowing that I would come investigate it as is, but not knowing that I was investigating something that was like laid out for me to investigate. So he started having panic attacks, thinking what's wrong in the case, and that he was scared he was going to go down for it. And now I don't even know if I believe him.
Right.
He was saying, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. But I'm going to go down for people who did. And now I don't really know what to believe. Because at first, I used to sit there and talk to him about this for hours. And I'd be like, I'm so sorry. That means your own cops set you up to take the fall for this. And your own cops lied to you. But I feel so sorry for you that this case is, and Tamla's family seems to think the reason he got kicked out of CID had to do with the case, and it did not. He got kicked out of CID because he was gunning for a promotion, and Tyler Sexton got the promotion to sergeant. And Mike called Tyler Sexton a preppy bastard to his face in front of everyone. And between him calling Tyler Sexton a preppy bastard, and then when Greg Cannon got fired, see, all this happened around the same time. Greg Cannon got fired for drinking on the job.
Right.
And then she accidentally let it slip that Mike had known for a long time about Greg's drinking and covered for him. So, and he did. Like, Mike would work calls or scenes, or, Greg would get in his car, and Mike would be like, hey, you smell, here's a breath mint. So Kate Travis Hoffman let it slip to someone, the sheriff, that Mike had been had always known Greg was showing up to work drunk. So they pulled Mike in and said, between calling Tyler Sexton a preppy bastard in front of everyone now, and you've admitted that you lied and covered for a fellow officer drinking, that's why he got removed from CID. Right. It really didn't have anything to do with this case, but it's like, I don't even know what to believe anymore, because through the IA investigation, now I know that every word he's ever said to anyone's a lie. So but I know that he was having panic attacks, and he said he's convinced wholeheartedly now that he said he does not think she was like outright murder, but he was like, I don't think she died maliciously, but something happened, and I think that Jose and all of them panicked. And then he said there were some phone calls between Jose and Andy Kalin before not.
And maybe I hate to make you backtrack, but what Lauren Belfari, what was her role in all this?
I don't know. Mike would just say, Lauren called me today and told me this or told me that, and it was adding to whatever Mike's belief was.
So this was
Yeah.
after he was out of CID then?
Yeah, because she got booted too. She got put out on the road. Yeah, it was after both of them got booted out of CID.
Okay. All right. So
he was calling me. He was on the phone with me at the autopsy, calling me and snapping me from the autopsy, telling me that there's no way this woman fell off the porch.
sorry, I'm writing this down. Hold on one second. Do you recall anything else he told you about what happened to Tamla, about the scene, anything like that? That we haven't already talked about?
Well, he just said that he could tell her body had been moved at the scene. He could tell she had a broken wrist. I mean, not really. He just snapped me pictures of her laying there dead and said, "Does this look like someone who's fallen off the porch to you that's 20 feet high?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah.
And he also said, I'm trying to think. I mean, you have to realize it's been like 2 years ago.
Yeah. No, I know. And I'll tell you the same thing I told Kim. If you think of stuff later, you have my email address, you have my phone number, just reach out to me and we'll document it. Because I know you're gonna think of stuff, you know, as you go. You'll be like, oh wait, I forgot to tell her that. That's fine. You can call me. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, because
do you still, and I know you probably do just because I know we got some stuff from the Horsford's attorney, but do you still have copies of your Snapchats or those pictures that he sent you?
so Internal Affairs took a crowbar to my phone and smashed them in the GSP parking lot. So, I see what I mean? Like, make sure we look out for the department.
Right.
I have some snaps from him that are not pictures. I have snaps from him, like, I have the snap from him that he snapped me right after he notified her family
Okay.
that she was dead. That snap specifically says that he thought she like choked on her and vomit and died. I mean, I have a lot of stuff from him, but
would you mind emailing me anything that you can that you have that he sent you regarding this case?
yeah, I'll have to go back and look because, like I said, Internal Affairs actually broke SIM cards on my phones in half and then took a tire iron and smashed my phones into a million pieces so that I couldn't pull back pictures of Tamla.
All right, well, just look and see what you have, and anything you do have, if you could email it to me, that would be very helpful. And then that way, and like I said, if you think of anything else, you're welcome to call me. I did want to tell you, let me get what's your address, Mandy?
Why?
Because I have to get just ID data on you. Anybody I talk to, I have to do that. If you don't want to give it to me, you obviously are not being forced to, so.
No, I don't want to.
Okay,
It's
that's fine.
ID data.
That's fine. It's just identification data in case that, like, if, let's say I get moved to a different office and there's another agent that takes this case for some reason. And I'm not saying that will happen because A, I don't plan on going anywhere. B, I'm hoping this case will be wrapped up sooner rather than later. But that way somebody else could get in touch with you, or the district attorney's office, if they need to talk to you regarding this, they can get a hold of you. So it's just identification data, and we do it on everybody we talk to. But it's okay. I don't want you to stress about that. I don't have to get it if you don't want to give it. But then the other thing I did want to ask you, what we discussed today, because this is an ongoing investigation, I'm trying to protect the integrity of my case. I would appreciate it if you didn't talk to anybody about what we talked about, including and especially the media. They'll have access to this when we're done if they want it. So, like I said, I can't tell you can't talk to anybody, but we would appreciate it just because we're trying to protect the integrity of our case. And if parts of it get out before it's done, it's not great. And also from talking to you earlier, I wanted to let you know that there are resources available. I know you said that and like I said, I don't want you to ever think that we as the GBI or myself as a human being don't care what has gone on with you and Mike. I have a scope that I have to look at when it comes to this case, but I know that you've had some trauma dealing with Mike Christian. And if you're not seeing somebody, I want you to know we can help you get in touch with a counselor or somebody if that's something that you need or want.
Okay. I started seeing a counselor like right before he ended things because of something he did to me.
Okay, so you are already talking to somebody.
Yeah, because the county attorney wanted to make sure I was talking to somebody, but
yeah, well, and that's just that you need to be talking to somebody. I mean, it's very obvious to me this has been traumatic for you, and like I said, I do care. Like like I said, we have a scope that we look at, but that doesn't mean that I don't care about what you've been through. So I do want to make sure that you are getting the help or can get the help that you need to deal with some of this.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, if you think of anything else, you feel free to call me or email me. And then, like I said, if you can gather what you do still have relating to your conversations with Mike in regards to Tamla Horsford, if you wouldn't mind emailing me that, I would greatly appreciate it.
Okay. And
All
he
right.
also just, I mean, he just, I don't know what else to say because he talked about it like every day. And he would talk to me calling and freaking out about Michelle Graves. And, I mean, it's just like every day for 2 years, ever since it happened. I mean,
right.
We talked. So it's like I don't even know what to say other than he just every single day would call me panic about something Michelle Graves was posting.
Right.
Something that I don't know. He was convinced that like all of them were going to go to jail for something. So.
Okay. And the only thing he ever told you he was concerned about going to jail for was because he felt like other people may have altered the crime scene and he thought he could be in trouble for that somehow, like set up for it.
Yeah, but I mean now that, because like back then I just believed everything. I hung on every word he said, but now I'm like, if you're having panic attacks every day and like just always being like, I didn't do anything wrong, I'm like, well, now I'm thinking like, did you? Because you sure were scared that all of y'all were going to jail. So it's like, so now it's like back then I thought of him as like, oh God, he's a victim of this case, but now it's like, that's just what you were telling me. I don't know, because I mean, he talked about it every day for 2 years, and I mean, panic attacks, and I think I'm about to have a stroke. I can't take this anymore, and I even asked him, like, if you really, really think that your other officers altered that crime scene or made up a story, then why wouldn't you someone instead of having a panic attack about it every day? And because he just said that that's so, and of course he didn't do it. He didn't tell on Greg, which got him kicked out of CID. So I guess if he does know something, I guess he's never going to tell, because we got into arguments about that. Because I don't agree with that. Like, I was like, my dad was a cop my whole life, and I think he would tell on another officer.
Yeah.
And me and Mike didn't have the eye on that. So we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. So I don't know. I don't know if he does know something something, or but he, was just like always in a panic, especially right before we stopped talking. So he said there was like an 8-minute long phone call and then a bunch of other phone calls that he was stressed about between Jose and Auntie Kaylin. So.
Okay. All right. Well, it certainly gives me some things to kind of look into. So I do appreciate you talking to me, Mandy. I know it wasn't easy, so I just wanted to say thank you. And like I said, if you think of anything else, let me know. And then if you find any of your Snapchats or anything, if you'll send those to me.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.